Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's another section or another time for us to learn. It's another time for us to uh, open up our brain. It's another time for us to get ourselves refreshed. It's another time to unlearn, relearn. Yeah. So, still another class on the precision smart, that is precision soil analysis and management training, PSMAT, as we call it, where we tend to look into how to farm sustainably and how to manage our soil sustainably. And then tonight again, we're going to be having another facilitator uh, to take us. So everyone, as you are joining in, I welcome you onto another great moment tonight to learn. Uh, in some place, it may not be night, it may be daytime. So wherever you are actually joining us from, uh, I welcome you on board this great moment to learn. Okay, I must note the first person to join us, yeah, I must note is Oluwa. That's Oluwa Oluwagbamila Abosede. Wow, that's very good of you. You are the first person to actually join in, even before I open the studio this evening here in Nigeria. And it's very good to actually know that we are in the same location. He's saying, I'm around today. That's very good. So everyone, as you are joining us in a moment from now, our facilitator will be joining us. So every one of you, as you are joining us, kindly comment your name, drop your name and your location. I am Stephen Popola, the lead consultant at Agro Optimizer Limited, where we actually work with farmers and then we work with agribusinesses to grow prosperity and enrich life. So that is all we do. Part of the services we render is soil analysis. Yeah, soil analysis. We also render a form of precision agriculture or smart farming, which has to do with feed and crop health monitoring. So we've got a system for that, which is satellite based. So we use the satellite technology to monitor how crops are doing on the feed and how crops are doing on the feed and how the soil is. And then with that, we can actually make prediction of rainfall across the region. We can actually measure the level of moisture in the soil, and we can even tell farmers before a disease strikes their farm. We can also tell farmers certain pests that may actually come up on their farm even before they are visible to the naked eyes. And there are a whole lot of benefits which are still available on the system and the service we render. We also render farm mechanization and digitalization to farmers. We also help set up farms. We help manage farm. We have managers we have trained, which we actually loan out. Let me use that word, loan out, like the footballer, the soccer word we say. So we loan them out, we buy, and then you can also buy them. But most of the time we don't sell out our managers. We rather give them to you, and then we have an agreement. Then you reward them awesomely. And then we also have our training section, specialized training section for whosoever is interested in any part of agriculture. We've got experts in livestock, and we've also got experts in crop. And then, as most of you know, I myself am a precision agricultural expert, so I kind of have an overview knowledge of all sides. However, when it gets to certain level, I push them down to our experts. That is why we've got them. We've got associates. We've got a whole lot of them. So, and then we also, just as we said, training. So specialized training on whatsoever part you are interested in. We also organize corporate training. Peradventure, you want your own managers or supervisors or your farm staffs to be trained. Yeah, we also do that. And we that is just the academic wing of Agro Optimizer. And then we also have a wing where we mentor youth, we train and mentor youth. That is, we call them junior optimizers. So it's just our own way of actually trying to bring everybody up. So we have youths that are interested in agriculture, or certainly we mentor them. We even help some of them develop their businesses, and we see them growing. So once again, I welcome you all wherever you're joining us from. Do not forget, try to drop your name and your location. Let us have them, your name and your location. You drop your name and your location. So tonight's topic, okay, we already have a facilitator at the back end, so we'll be inviting her in shortly. The topic we are treating is that is soil health monitoring. Soil health monitoring. There is this saying that whatsoever you cannot measure, you cannot manage. And then measurement or measuring is not in precision. Is not something which you just do once, just a one-time thing. No, because uh, parameters changes per time. Yeah, parameters changes per time, thing changes per time. That is why whenever we are talking about measurement, whenever we are talking about measurement in precision agriculture, we always want to attach a word. Most of you must have been hearing it. We say real time. Yeah, real time, because the what we like, okay, the amount, or yeah, the value of a parameter at a point in time could be different from the value of that parameter at another point in time. Say for example, temperature. Temperature as at 1900 GMT plus 1 hour is quite different from the temperature you may be experiencing at same location by 2000 hours GMT plus 1 hour, GMT plus 1. So we always want to talk about real time. So we have to, if we are managing something through the measurement of it, then the measurement has to be a continuous. We have to monitor it. So we'll be looking at that. Don't let me just take the class before our facilitator. So let me, okay, she's here. Okay, I don't know. She's gone again. Okay, she's gone. Hopefully she will be back shortly. All right. So I can see some of you already commenting your name. We have Adedamola, Oluwayemisi, Janet, and then yeah, good. Someone is already asking. Okay, let's treat that while we wait for the facilitator to join us back, to come on board back, so we can add her up to the stage. And before I answer this question from Oluwabamila Abosede, just want to say it. We have actually seen some of you having problem, and you having challenges with your FAO course, and that has even stopped, let's say, hold us or debar us from giving you the next platform to go learn from, or the next certification. But I just want you to be rest assured that as long as you have the mind to get it, you will surely get it. However, we will tell you to keep trying. You keep trying. Then, if you keep, and that is why we have not closed the deadline. And if you keep trying till the end, you couldn't get it. Possibly when you are around for the practical section, that is the on-field section, we can actually ask you to identify yourself and possibly guide you through you getting it that same day. However, before then, don't relent. It may just be one simple one uh, small mistake you are making, or something you are not doing right. Just as some people were using certain browser that have not been favorable, but I must tell you, uh, when you use Chrome is more like suitable for their sites. And then I can't say much about the Opera Mini and the likes, but Chrome is good. So you may need to change your site, the browser you're using, and then after that, If you try that and it doesn't work, you may need to check up. Maybe you use another email address, and then make sure when you are typing in your email address, you do not allow you type it in as all in lowercase. Yeah, so you don't type it in as maybe the first letter uppercase somewhere, and by the time you want to retype it in again for you to log in or for you to continue, you are having it as all through lower cases or lower cases. Then it's gonna have effects. It may actually be stopping you from gaining access, because the site is kind of more sensitive to, maybe sensitive to characters and the likes. And then so, but just keep trying, and if you couldn't actually get it before the practical day and then we are able to meet, then possibly we may be able to guide you through you having it. It's at the lights that you have it. So our facilitator is back here. Let me add her to the stage, so she doesn't feel lonely at the back end. You're welcome. I'm just trying to address the participants' questions before, as regards the program, before we actually commence today's class. You're welcome, ma.
Yeah, good
So,
evening.
good evening, ma. So let me quickly answer this question from Oluwa Bamila Abosede. You say, how can you join the training? That is, you mean the junior optimizer? Yeah, it's a movement. It's a movement, not just a one-time training. It's a movement. There are movement. There are times we may call them up, give them some things. There are times that we've got situations we handling, or a project we handling, and we feel they will learn from it. Is going to build them up. We also onboard them. There are times we even travel with them. We travel with some of them on some projects, so they can have experience. They can actually get the real thing, not just we at Agro Optimizer, we do the real thing. We are not just storytellers, we are doers. And that is why this training is not limited, or is not going to be limited to just the theoretical class, the talking class. Still going to have the on-site hands-on training, and then hands-on sections, yeah, as part of the training. So I think I've answered your question. You can actually private chat us on the official WhatsApp line. uh then you make your intention known, like you express your intention of you willing to join the junior optimizer movement. And then you will be guided through on how to go about it, the requirements and things to do. So guys, we already have our facilitator waiting for us, so let us just dive straight into the wonderful stuffs we want to learn tonight. Yes. So this is tonight we will be with. Please, you are going to help me with the pronunciation of I think your surname. Uh, she's Mrs. Amy K. Yeah, Amy K. Well, I do call her E Mike. Yeah, E Mike. Then the other name, she's going to help me. Please help me with the pronunciation so I don't murder
Henna,
with
henna,
in
henna,
her.
henna.
Okay, good. And now, so welcome. Let's welcome our facilitator tonight, Emike
Okay.
Ena. She is a soil scientist. So she is a soil scientist. At least, yes, I can confirm that she's carried out soil test. And then we did a program last year. Yeah, last year. I think towards around this period last year, right? November,
Yes.
December, January, around this period last year, we did a program where we had free soil testing for farmers across Oyo State, Kwara State, and Ogun State, and I think some people also came from Osun. So we have from Southwest actually. So he actually coordinated the program. So I was just at the back end. She coordinated the program, and it was a success. And even this year again, I went to a program this year, somewhere in Oyo, and I was making reference to that particular program, that particular project we did for farmers, the free soil testing. And I was so happy that part of the farmers that were present there that day were at they were present at event, and they testified that wow, the soil test we did for them, the recommendation really worked out, and then they have started seeing improvements on their productivity. And that was why when they heard again that uh, Agro Optimizer, we were not the one that facilitated the program, that Agro Optimizer is also joining some people to organize a program at their location. They all came out. I want her to hear this story. Good. Okay, she's back. Okay, she's back. I want her to hear this story. All right. Are you back? Okay. So, as I was saying, the program, I was so happy again when I went to a community this year. Some organization came together to organize a program, a training program, and then they call Agro Optimizer on board to also be part of the program. And by the time we got there, hello. So by the time we got there, hey Mike.
Sorry about the technical issues. My network has been misbehaving. I'm switching from MTN to Glo and Glo to MTN. I don't know what's happening. Sorry about that.
All right, can you just put off your mic for now?
Can I what?
Put off your mic for now.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Just the mic. Okay, okay, I think so. You can hear me. So, when it was time for Agro Optimizer to actually take the stage, during the training, I made reference to the project, which the free soil testing we did for farmers, and I was so happy that a number of farmers at that same event stood up and they testified that they were beneficiaries of that free soil testing program we did. And then in fact, their production this season has been wonderful. The recommendation we gave them really worked out. And then everyone at the event were just asking for free soil testing. Then we told them no, it was just for a section. Everyone wants to come on board and enjoy it. And similar thing we are trying to do in this program, empower the youth most especially, because we are the now and we are the future. Yeah, the youth are the now and the future. So we want to invest in the now and also the future, and that is why we are training. We are creating awareness, trying to clear some misconception, because most of the time we have been sold lies. Yeah, we have been sold lies by many bodies. Let me just use that, many bodies. Some certain organization, they just want to sell market, and then some certain people, they just want to promote themselves, just telling us lies there are that. And that is why this week we have been looking at the misconceptions, the fallacies behind soil health, and then soil health and soil health management, and we are trying to correct that. And we also want to equip people with the skills and techniques of getting to know how to really uh, manage the soil health for maximum productivity. So, without wasting much of our time, I'm already running into your time. I know we are waiting for you. So, Mike, you are welcome on ground. Welcome on board. So, over to you.
Yeah, good evening once again, Agro Optimizer. It's always a pleasure working with you. And kudos to all what you have been doing. I know throughout the day you have been up, down throughout the week from one farm to another, trying to make sure that agriculture in Africa and also in Nigeria, that the production becomes better and far better. I must say that the people on this training, you are most lucky because some of this training, it's actually, you actually pay for it, and you are getting it at a very at your fingertips. And this training must have started since last week, and we were rounding up this week. And I'm sure other facilitators before me have done justice to their various topics that have been assigned to them. And it's not just about just attending the training, it's also putting in what you have learned so far during the training into practical use for agricultural production in Nigeria and also in Africa. So without further much ado, I'll be starting my presentation on monitoring monitoring and sustainable agricultural practices. As we all know, this is a precision soil health management and analysis training. Basically, it's we are going to be talking about conservation agriculture and soil monitoring. First and foremost, when we talk about conservation agriculture, the key word there, conservation and agriculture. We all know what agriculture is. Most of us on this training, we are into agriculture in one way or the other. Now, conservation basically means to keep something till a later use, till when you need it or for a very long period of time. And in conservation agriculture now, when you are joining these two words together, it has to do with making sure that all agricultural practices that are carried out are to produce food for a long period of time. According to, permit me to quote, Food and Agricultural Organization 20 2009, they define conservation agriculture as a concept of saving resources for agricultural crop production in order to achieve acceptable profits together with high and sustained production levels while conserving the environment. A lot of resources go into agriculture, whether it's land, whether it's soil, whether it's air, whether it's the water. Whatever resources that is going into this agricultural production have to be kept. Most of these natural resources, most of them are usually not that renewable. So it's when we do not really make use of all these resources properly, it may be lost and it will be difficult for us to grow um crops and also even raise our animals. Now, on the slide will be sent to the WhatsApp group. Now, the on for the principles, there are some principles that conservation agriculture have to follow. The first one is minimum mechanical soil disturbance. As farmers, as agriculturists, there's no way that we don't disturb our soils, or we don't disturb the land, either agriculturally or non-agriculturally, either by man, by animals, by machines. But this affects the topsoil, and we know very well that the topsoil is where most of these nutrients are. And if this topsoil is disturbed, okay, for example now, when a particular area is opening up, there will be a lot of deforestation where they have to fell trees, they have to use their tractor, they have to use a lot of machines on the topsoil. This is against whereby we are trying to keep the topsoil so that most of the soil nutrients in the topsoil would allow for maximum crop production. So as much as possible, we do not want to disturb the soils. Even animals, like overgrazing the animals, overgrazing done by the animals, even vehicular movements on this soil. These are all soil disturbances. Now, the next principle we'll be looking at is permanent soil organic matter. Organic matter is a binding agent, it's a cementing force that binds all loose soil particles together. And these soil particles, when they are loose, it also affects crop production. So we need to permanently have a means of supplying organic matter to the soil environment on a regular basis. and it's not only a binding force, it's also a means of supplying nutrients, and that is through permanent soil organic cover. That's, as we know, popularly as cover cropping. Hope I'm not too fast, please. Okay. The last principle is species diversification. Diversification of different species that are planted on the soil environment. We do not want monocropping, whereby heavy feeders of crops are only the ones being grown, whereby the nutrients are being drained, or all these permanent crops that are permanently there. We want different crops that can add nutrients, the ones that can add nutrients, the ones that are light feeders, the ones that can supply nitrogen, just different varieties of crop. That's something related to multi-cropping. So the major three principles of conservation agriculture: the minimal soil disturbance, the planting of cover crops, and planting of variety of crops. Now, on the pity that the slides. Okay, so for what are the things that we are going to gain from cover cropping? Basically, when the soil is covered, it it helps to reduce soil erosion. As we know, the continuous wearing away of the topsoil, either by air or wind or water. So the air, wind, moving air. Now this another benefit of growing crops, cover crops like your legumes, your cowpea, the crops that cover the soil, it also helps to trap water, to conserve water in situations where there is no water, where there is no, sorry, moisture. So by the time they trap this moisture, it enables the crops to use this moisture that has been trapped, use it for their own benefits. So cover cropping is essential. It also helps to improve the structure of the soil. You know, our basic soil profile. Some of the structure have been maybe we are in B horizon. Sometimes we get to as much as B horizons. The A horizon has been destroyed, but by the time you plant cover crops, this structure is actually restored. Now we talked about organic matter. Organic matter also improves the soil structure. It helps to supply the nutrients, like I said earlier. It helps to prevent soil erosion. We are, during the rainy season, when farmers are supplying nutrients, applying fertilizer to their soil, if they are not careful, it tends to be wasted, whereby water, rain washes up this fertilizer that has just been applied, and they will be wondering, and I applied fertilizer. No, you actually applied it for the rain, and the rain just washed it away. So but when there's organic matter, when the fertilizer is applied, it helps to hold it still together. Then it helps for water retention. Yes, water retention. It's just like somebody drinking water. After some time, it stores in the stomach. Then when the body needs it again, it still gets it from the stomach. So also this organic matter, when e store the water needed by the nutrient, the moisture needed by the nutrients for plant growth, after some time, when they have used the one that is available, they can still reach out to the organic matter, which is ready to supply this water to the plants. Now we want to talk about tillage. Don't forget, our first principle of soil conservation was basically related to tillage. As agriculturists, as farmers, we believe that tillage helps to loosen the soil. Well, yes, tillage has its advantages as well as its disadvantages. But in this conservation agriculture, we are encouraging no till, as much as possible, no till, if at most reduce tillage. Dat conventional tillage of using either plough, harrows, disc ridger, cultivators, just getting machines, trying to use them on the topsoil. It's to us, okay, we are using machines, everything is about machine, but it has its own effect. Yes, it does. It has its own effect. I've mentioned that earlier and emphasis on it. The topsoil. Imagine scraping the topsoil, removing the nutrients and expecting a bumper harvest. It's not going to happen. We are soliciting for reduced tillage, even if we have to till, even if we have to loosen the soil, even if we have to break up the soil lumps. Okay, just plough, a little, cultivate a little, but you don't have to use all the machines. No, don't get me wrong, I'm not against digital agriculture. No, 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 no. But I'm saying that when we are doing something concerning the when we are doing something that has to do with tillage, let's not forget the topsoil. Then it is very, very possible for us not to till. We can still plant and we can still spray. We can still plant our crops, just minimal, just very small, maybe the area where we want to plant, around it we can still till, but as much as possible, if possible, don't till. Now let's go to precision agriculture, because that is where the monitoring has to come from. Precision agriculture has come to stay. Has come to stay. It's a very, very vital part of agriculture in this century. Yes, it has come to stay. And what does it have? It has precision spraying, precision plant. What is precision? Exact. When you go to the field, without actually carrying out soil analysis, you will think the soil or the land is uniform. That's a very big lie. Even our fingers, no two fingers are the same. No two fingerprints are the same. Even twins, their their fingerprints, identical twins, their fingerprints are not the same. So it also is, that's how it is on the land. The land may look uniform, it may look flat, it may look everything, but check the soil. No soil on that, no a particular area. You can't say the whole farm is like this. No, there will be there will be oh God, there will be, what's that word, there will be differences on the soil landscape. So precision agriculture enables you to deal with these differences, whereby you give the exact thing, the exact input on a particular part of the farm, in order to get your output. It's not that you just use a blanket method. Okay, everywhere is like this, everywhere is not fertile, everywhere is fertile. This place is this part of the land is as rich as this other one. No. Precision agriculture opens our eyes to see that, okay, fertilizer may not be as needed as much in this place, because the soil here is fertile, or the nitrogen here is okay, or the potassium here is not that okay. That is what precision agriculture tries to solve. You have the agricultural data management, you have the remote sensing and AI analysis. AI also, AI, we are using AI in agriculture. It's not only for other things. AI is not forbidden in agriculture, please. Then precision weeding, precision planting, like I mentioned earlier. Now, at the beginning, Agro Optimizer mentioned that what you cannot measure, you cannot monitor. Very, very important. And that's where remote sensing comes in. Remote sensing is under precision agriculture. It's just a subunit under precision agriculture. whereby you have to take um data of objects on the land, but you are far away from it. You don't need to be there. You use tools, you monitor your crop, you use satellites. Yes, you use your satellites. You can estimate your yield using your apps. You can map the soil. You can manage your fields. You have heard of unmanned aerial um vehicles. You can use your drones. So all these are under remote sensing in agriculture. And we have other smart agricultural monitoring solutions. It's very important for us. Farmers, we have to monitor what we are planting. You cannot just plant and expect that, oh, it's going to grow overnight, then magic will happen. No, you have to go there, you have to prepare the land, you have to um um add your fertilizer, you have to plant the crop, you have to water, you have to weed, you have to carry out a lot of operations. You cannot just leave your crop and say, okay, when it's in 6 months time I'll come and harvest. No, it's not going to happen. It's not even going to happen like that. So you have to monitor. A good farmer is a good money is a good I don't just borrow me good monitor. I don't want to. I just borrow with that word. A good monitor. You have to monitor what you have planted, because sometimes it's not everyone. Not all the plants that you plant will grow. You may be lucky. You may need to supply. You may need to. You may be. I don't want to say unlucky. You may need to think. You may need to supply. You may need. You have to check what you are doing. You need data to do that. Okay, I have this, I have so this, I have this, I have this. So you have to monitor. You have to monitor the weather. Is the rain are the rains going to come? If it's a rain fed agriculture, if the rains are not going to come, do I need to use irrigation? How do you know that if you are not monitoring the weather? That's weather monitoring. You need if it's a greenhouse, you need to monitor. Are the conditions okay for my plants? Do I need is the temperature okay? You need to check it. Even your crop, you need to monitor them. It depends on what you are growing. If you are growing for vegetative purposes, are the leaves okay? Is it time for has it gotten to the time? For the fruits, are these fruits okay? Has it gotten to the market size? Are the pests eating it? What kind of pest? You have to just monitor. So monitoring is an essential part of agricultural production. Then even pest management still involves monitoring. We have smart tools for it, digital management. You have your livestock, the animals are not left out. Is it time to give them food? Have their water finish? Is it time for their vaccines? You have to check it. And your farm management, okay, these are the number of crops, these are what we need to do, these are the practices we need to carry out this week, this month. You have to check all these things. Data is very, very, very important. So on this slide I had a because we are basically talking about soil. I had a soil monitor, kind of, that was used to test the soil. It was used to check some soil parameters inside the soil, and it was the processes were were spelled out. You dip the soil monitor sort of into the soil. It has two probes to detect the different nutrients in the soil. Then once you dip it inside, the soil must be moist. Once you dip it inside, it starts reading. Once it starts reading, it takes the data. Then you have to clean it, and that's for the soil monitoring. So in everything that we have said today, it's very important for us to keep our resources that we're using for agricultural production. How can we do that? We have to make there should be minimal soil disturbance from us, from animals, from machines. We have to plant organic. We have to know how to incorporate organic matter. Sometimes when you harvest like that, leave the residues. on the farm so that the thing can decompose and add organic matter to it. And you have to plant cover crops. You have to plant different varieties. Don't just plant heavy feeders. Don't just plant deep rooted crops. Then you have to use smart tools. You have to use smart tools. You imagine just using olden days method of carrying out soil analysis. Maybe if you have hectares and acres of land and you are to carry out soil analysis and you are taking almost how many weeks? You have to improvise, be digital, be a modern 21st century farmer. Don't be we will get there, but we have to practice. There's one thing to say, there's another thing to practice all these things that we have said. And that is why this training is ongoing, because we the youths are the future of farming. I know most youths don't really like anything that has to do with farming because you have to get your hands dirty, but that's where the money is. So I hope that this training will have positive impact on agriculture in Nigeria and also in Africa. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, I am Agro Optimizer. Are you still there? If you have your questions, you can drop it in the comments, or you have your additions.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me, but I think I'm having an audio problem here. I can't hear you guys anymore. I can only see the facilitator. So I think she's actually done with our class. So let me just hope, or let me be hearing you guys in the spirit. So it's question and answer section, and I've actually projected that for you to ask your question. Drop your question in the comment box, then we make it available for the facilitator to answer. I think so far we only have one question. Every other person have actually just been appreciating our facilitator. Okay, we have this person here. That is as you can see, says he said thanks a lot. Well done, ma. So that is just one out of those that have been appreciating the facilitator. We also have Isiak Yabo. Isiak Yabo also thanking you. So we done with that. We have a number of them thanking you, ma. So we really appreciate what you've done tonight. I love that part where you talk about trying to refer to what I said at the opening of the tray of tonight's class, that whatsoever you cannot measure, you cannot manage. And then measurement in precision agriculture is not a one-time thing. And that is why the data we work with in precision agriculture, we call them real-time data. That's why we had the word real-time, because we know these parameters we are checking for can actually change. Look at what happened just now. At a point in time, I can hear you guys. But right now, things has changed. I cannot hear you. I'm just following my instinct, following the facial expression of the facilitator. But I believe you can hear me because I can see responses to what I'm saying. So you can see that. So the same thing on your farm. In fact, most of the things that hinder from getting the bountiful harvest we deserve. I believe I always say farmers deserve bountiful harvest. Every farmer deserves bountiful harvest. But one of those things, there are things that hinder farmers from getting those bountiful harvest. If farmers can just take care of those things and solve those challenges, take care of those issues, then the bountiful harvest is certain. So one of those things that actually steals farmers' bountiful harvest is we not being able to work with data, and that is monitor things. We just believe, okay, things are there. Would you let me just bring this up. Some of you may be aware that the temperature of the soil, as at when you are planting, also have effect on the germination of your seed, and then the vigorosity your seed will use in germinating, and it also affects their early life. That's the seedling. You may not see it physically, but you already, if the temperature is not so favorable to them, it doesn't really need to show. It is when it has gotten to the extreme, it starts showing on them, then it becomes visible to your physical eyes. Once it's not favorable to them in certain way, it has started reducing the potential of that seed. If the seed has got 10, the potential of 10 tons, I'm just giving an example, potential of 10 tons, with that negative effect, which you cannot even see with your naked eye, the productivity potential has started reducing to maybe about 8, 9. Then pests will come, they will take their own. What is it called? Climate factors too will come, and then they take their own. Before you know, that 10 tons per hectare potential has turned into 2 tons per hectare. Then some people will still come to your farm and come and pluck some, the human thieves. And then farmers, what are you left with? So we have to monitor those things, and we have to check and balance. We have to check and balance. That is okay. When you monitor the soil moisture, you don't need to see until when the soil appears so dry before you apply moisture. Or yeah, it should have a range. Yeah, it should have a range. And then we see our farms, sometimes they get totally dry, we are waiting for rain. That is why precision agriculture, in fact, to me is the best, because it guarantees we work with data. Good, let us go to, it seems we have more questions. Okay, we take about 2 to 3 questions, others maybe. Wow, I love this. Emmanuel Victor says, thanks for the wonderful presentation, ma. Wow, 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 wow. That's good. Well done. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. All right, let's go to the questions. The first question here. Somebody said looking forward to see more of this presentation. Okay, Mike is always busy. He's always busy, but she's always busy, I mean to say. But don't worry, we always have her. She's part of Agro Optimizer. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, the first question says, how do I incorporate organic matter into a large scale of land without stress? And then, okay, I think this question has been answered yesterday, but let us hear your view. Emike, this question has been answered yesterday, but let's hear your view before I maybe try to reiterate what was said yesterday.
I know that organic matter can be very bulky compared to fertilizers, and compared to the large scale land that you're talking about without stress. The thing is that you would just have to allow it to decompose. That decomposition is very, very important. It may take a lot of time for it to actually decompose very well. The decomposition is another part that will release the nutrients on time. So without stress, farming agriculture is actually stressful. So you just have to, I don't know how to put it,
Maybe
just
when you are done answering, you can signal, you can give me signal.
okay, I know.
I can hear.
Agriculture is actually stressful, and organic matter, if you want the best, sometimes you have to go through the stress. Now you may divide the land. After the most important thing is to carry out pre-soil analysis. That's before you even plant. so that you don't even, there are some places you may not really need to apply the organic matter. At least that's one way of reducing your stress. But let my oga answer. My oga, sir, you
All
can go
right, all
ahead.
right, all right. So yeah, in just let me just say addition to what she must have said because I don't know what she has said now. But in addition to what she must have said, for large scale farming, like commercial farmers, which are commercial farmers are always mechanized farmers. Yeah, you make use of machine. Human labor cannot serve you. Yeah. So we have a tractor pulled implements. It's just that this part of the country, most of what we are just used to is just the tractor and the plow. How many people have even seen Arrow? And then so there are a lot of implements that the tractor works with. So it depends on the whatever operation you want to do. So for spreading things like manure and manure, we have what we call manure spreader. It is a tractor pulled implement. It has a tank. So once the manure is filled into the tank, it looks like also a trailer that is always attached to uh, a trailer bucket that is always attached to the tractor, but it has openings, outlets to which those manure will be dropping, and then it has measurements. They would have calibrated it, so it's not going to be as if it's just pouring anyhow. No, certain amount will be poured at certain interval. Yeah, I yesterday I mentioned a particular project at Iseyin, in one of the villages at Iseyin, where we actually used that because we did what we call integrated fertility management. So we use both the organic and the inorganic fertilizer. So we applied manure, and then after the clearing of the land, we use the spreader, which is tractor pull, to apply the manure. After the manure has been applied, then the land has been plowed. Then we now harrow. Now, this is it. AE Mike said something during our presentation for us to reduce, to minimize the soil disturbance. Yeah, you may not go zero tillage, but in whatsoever you minimize the disturbance you create on your soil. Yeah, you minimize the tillage. And then one thing there is that we have always been practicing things wrong in this part of the world. Do you actually know you have to plow your land just once in 4 seasons? It gets to the fourth season before you replow the land. However, we even see people in just one season, they plow the land about 2 to 3 times. Anytime they want to plant, they will say they replow so they can plant. Once they harvest, they replow. No, plowing once. Every other time you do what we call harrowing. You use harrow. Harrow is just to break. The harrow ditch is not as large as the plow. The plow goes deep as far as about 20 to 25. You can see it has. I told you the measurement in the introduction to the practical. I told you the measurement of the topsoil, which is 0 to 20 centimeter. And your plow disc has entered into the soil about 25 centimeter. You can see that level of disturbance. So it should just be once in a season to turn the soil. Then harrow is just to make the soil kind of succulent, fluffy, and then so it can cause you can use that to improve aeration, make the soil breathe, so that the root of your crop will move freely. They are not stressing themselves, because the more stress they receive or they face, then the more the loss of their potential. We cannot see those things with our physical eyes, but they are data that we work with in precision agriculture. She also mentioned various ways we collect data through remote sensing, a technology that can in fact, that can read the language, read the language your plants are communicating in, which you cannot hear with your eyes. We cannot hear with your ears, and you cannot see with your eyes. Do you actually know plants make sounds, they communicate? Those are things, radiations, what they radiate. We gather them with technology such as remote sensing, either you using the satellite based tech, or you using your drone. That is unmanned area vehicles, to just capture those data. So we need to work with those data. So for you asking, on a large scale, there are implements meant for every operation. There are a lot of implements that if I start mentioning, most people have not even heard about them. You will by the time you go make your findings, you will see that they actually exist. So there is manure spreader. Yeah, there is spreader. So for large scale farming, get a manure spreader attached to your tractor which you are using, and you spread the manure easily. Then you can now harrow the manure in proper into the soil. So I think that question has been answered. Then somebody is asking a question that is not relating to this course here. If you are starting a business, if your business is sound and good, you can work on get a business plan proposal and whatsoever. There are various there are agri financing options. Yeah, it's either you go for loan, but I will not advise you to go for loan in farming. Except agric loan that is structured in a way that is favorable to farming. uh And then there are financing houses, and then you can also apply for grants. There are programs where they encourage people to apply. Once you can actually pitch your business well and it catches the mind of an investor, they can invest. Or basically, you can start small. Yes, you can start small. I am an example of starting small. Yeah. I started from backyard, but glory be to God, today we are managing projects of thousands of hectares. So that is just it. If you need further assistance or further what will I say now, encouragement or further things on how you can go about it. Yeah. Well, finance is one of the issue everybody face everywhere, not only on our continent. But if you've got your business, finance should not stop you. It may just stop you. It may not allow you start the way you want to start, but it should not stop you. I think we are at 9 o'clock. Let's be fast now. Okay, let's quickly go to the next question. Okay, everybody is still thanking you. Looking forward to seeing more of this. Okay, good. Somebody said, what if I found out the nutrients? What if I found out the nutrient quantity in my soil varies within a piece of land? How do I solve this situation in regards to precision agriculture? I think, Mike, will you answer that or I should answer?
Go ahead, go
I
ahead.
should
I'm
answer.
enjoying.
Okay,
Go
I know
ahead.
you will always want you will always want that. All right. James I am. Yeah. If you actually find out, good. That is even what precision is about, because we know there are variabilities across the field. The spot at which I'm standing, the nutrient composition at that level, at that part, may be quite different from the spot where the camera I placed before me, which is just about this is less than a meter before me, could be different. So if you are able, whatever technology or whatever tool or whatever precision mechanism you have been able to actually capture that variability within that space, there are also tools for nutrients that can help you with variable nutrient application. There is something we call VRA, variable rate application. So the nutrients or the chemical, because it's not only fertilizer now, even herbicides when you spray are deposited at a point can be different from the one at every other point. Let's say, for example, you are applying the fertilizer using a drone. You are spreading your fertilizer using a drone. You supply that data. There is a way you would have captured that variability across your feed. So you supply it to the drone software, application software. Then by the time it's spreading, is already because it has control the nozzle, if it's using the nozzle, and then the droplet point, if it's actually droplet point for solid this thing, the way it's moving, and it works with GPS, getting to know the variability in each location, and it has been programmed what amount it will drop per those variability. So it controls. Even if it gets to where it will not drop anything, it will short the amount of the dropping point, that nothing will drop, and it goes. So the same tool, just as we have data capturing tool, we also have a decision implementation tool. So in precision agriculture, it's complete. All right. I think one more wow, this is interesting. Okay, and then we have come to the end of the question. So, Mike, it's been a wonderful night with you here on this program, and it's one thing I want to say. The network really favored us today, right? Good. I'm coming. So, Mike, in just while we wrap up, I just want you to wrap up. So, the only thing I'm coming up to say is bye. So, once you are done, in just like a minute, just give possibly your parting word to those that are on board this training.
Okay. Once again, I want to thank Agro Optimizer. I'm part of Agro Optimizer. Thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your support for the youths. Thank you for what you do for farmers. I'm really grateful. We are grateful on behalf of all the youths in Nigeria, in Africa, not only youths, farmers. We are sincerely grateful. And for this training, for all of you that have attended this training, it's time to put into practice. Don't just leave it like that. Don't be scared of starting. Just make little steps to your dreams, little steps to your goals. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Agriculture is good. Agriculture is what actually provides almost everything. So imagine if we have more farmers, the future of agriculture in Nigeria and Africa will be very bright. So thank you very much. I hope to see you people once again. So good night from here.
Okay, I think you are done, right? Yeah. All right, everyone, meet you again in the next class. Bye for now.